Hi there, my name's Danielle. Thank you for watching. Today we're going to be discussing how to deal with loss or grief. Okay, so there are 5 stages of grief. Depending on what you're grieving, what you're going through, it'll depend how you're not necessarily going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in order. You might, go to 3, go to 5, go to 1. It just depends. But grief is something that everybody, or dealing with loss, everybody deals with in their lifetime at some point. So it's good to kind of, know maybe what to look for, how to deal with it. So the 5 stages of grief. The first one, number 1, is denial. And that's kind of like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening to me. I can't believe what's going on. It's just unbelievable. The second one is anger, and that's like, why is this happening to me? And you're angry about it, and you're like, why would this happen to me, of all people? And just feeling angry about it. The third one is bargaining. So this would be like bargaining, like, okay, I promise, if you let this work out the way I want to, this person not pass away, or this whatever you're grieving, or your loss, or my marriage not ending, or whatever you're dealing with, it's kind of like, okay, if you help me with my marriage, if you help my marriage to stay, I promise I'll do this. If you help so and so get better, then I promise I'll do this or that. You're making a promise to yourself, to God, to whatever, and you're like, okay, if this is going to work out the way I want it to, if this isn't going to happen, then I promise that I'll change this, or I'll do that. So that's bargaining. And then the fourth one is depression, which we all pretty much know what that is. It's sadness. It's just being really sad. And then the fifth one is acceptance, which means that you're at peace with what has happened. You could still be sad, and you're still going to have your times when maybe you are angry, and maybe you are sad, and maybe you kind of like, gosh, I really still can't believe this happened. And, so you're still going to go through the different things, and it's going to take a while. So different ways that you can deal with this is, acknowledge your pain, acknowledge your loss, acknowledge your grief, that you are sad or angry, or, and then do something about it. If you're sad and it helps you to cry it out. Just cry in the shower, cry in your bed, whatever. Reach out to a friend, a family member. Let them help you through that. And even if it's a family member that's grieving with you, grieve together. It doesn't have to just be you on your own over here grieving and them grieving over there. And also acknowledge that, realize that everybody grieves differently. So how you're handling your grief or your loss isn't necessarily how your sibling's going to handle it, or your parent is going to handle it, or your child is going to handle it. You're going to handle it differently and deal with it differently than anybody else is going to. So acknowledge your pain, accept that this loss or this grief can trigger different and unexpected emotions. So you might have emotions that you didn't think you would at the loss of a loved one, or a miscarriage, your marriage. You may just have feelings and emotions that you never thought that you could have, but just realize and acknowledge that, it's because of the loss, it's because of the grief, and it's okay as long as you don't just stay in it. You do have to, eventually move out of it. And you're going to, it's going to ebb and flow. It's going to go up and down. You're going to have good days, good moments. You're going to have bad days and bad moments. And, as life is, but more so when it's a loss or grief that you're going through. Also, if you feel like maybe you are having feelings or emotions that maybe you can't handle right, and like talking to friends isn't helping, or doing the things you normally do, like let's say dancing usually picks you up, or working out makes you feel better, or listening to music, or reading a book or watching a comedy or, whatever usually does work for you is not working, don't be afraid or embarrassed to seek out professional help. A therapist, I am a firm believer in therapy, and it if at anything else, it can't hurt. So if you do feel like you need professional help, don't be afraid to seek that out. It's okay. I know there's kind of been like this stigma over therapy, and it's like, oh my gosh, you go to a therapist? No, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with seeking out professional help if you need it. Absolutely. Do it. Do what you need to do to get past what you're feeling and what you're going through. And maybe, a lot of times therapists too have different tools that you can use, different things, different methods that may work for you. Also, maybe another thing, you can even, do your own research if you really don't want to go to therapy. You could, read some books on grief and loss. Go on the internet and look up things. Look at YouTube videos about grief and loss. There's many things out there, especially nowadays with social media and just the internet and everything, that you can find there's a lot of help out there. But always, yes, don't be afraid to seek out professional help, because, they're professionals. So they're there literally to help you get through what you're going through. Also, show yourself grace. Be kind to yourself. Be loving with yourself. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. It takes time to get over things, to get past things. And not necessarily that you're going to get over it. Oh, you need to get over this. No, I don't really feel like with certain things you get over it. You just learn how to live with it. And yes, it does get easier, because you learn how to live with it, or you learn how to live without that person, or, but yeah, you have to give yourself the time and make sure you take care of your mental health and take care of your physical health as well, because they kind of go hand in hand, so take that time that you need. If you need, to take a few days off work to, take care of yourself, even if, unless you're a pet owner, I feel like a lot of people don't understand the loss of a pet. You may need a few days off work. And if you need that, take it. Losing the loss of a pet is a loss of a family member, as far as I'm concerned. And that's a hard thing. So, if even let's say you're getting a divorce and your divorce is now final, or you just decided, you and your partner, ex-spouse, whatever you want to say, have just decided that, this is really going to happen, and you've told your kids, and maybe you want to take some time with your kids and yourself. Take a couple of days off work. Keep your kids out of school for a couple of days. It's not going to be the end of the world to take some time to be with your kids and be with yourself, and to, work through things together. And it's okay, to get them some therapy too if they need it, help with through the divorce or whatever they're going through too, because kids will handle things differently than you do as an adult. So just be kind to yourself, eat healthy, get some exercise, meditate, and always, for me, always prayer. Turn to God. Let God take your burdens. He is always there. He's always there. And at the times that you are at your lowest is when he's carrying you. So just always remember that, and just, allow yourself to take the time to grieve, and be gracious with yourself, and show yourself grace, and be kind to yourself. And let me know what works for you all, what you've done in the past when you've had a loss or been through a grieving, what have you done? So for me, prayer, always prayer first, God first, always. So I've always turned to him to pray. And sometimes when you're going through the grieving process too, and the 5 steps, a lot of times that anger is towards God, because if it's somebody that you loved that has passed away, or loss is always going to be hard. A pet, a miscarriage, a divorce, anything, even a car accident, even the loss of a limb, the use of your legs or your arms, anything like that. And, a lot of times people do get angry with God, and that's understandable. And he does understand that, but you can still turn to him, and he's still going to be there. Even if you want to yell at him, he's still always there. And so, prayer, just understanding with yourself and just turning to other people, you know, getting the help you need, getting the support you need. Just know that there's other people that have been through things as well, and they can be there for you, even just to hug or just to sit there with you while you cry, or just to be there with you and just watch a movie together. You know, sometimes you just don't want to be alone. But yes, let me know what has worked for you. I hope that, you know, some of the things that I've said in here will help you or help anybody. You know, if you're going through something now, you know, I'm sorry, and it's always just hard to get through. You can reach out to me as well, and I can, you know, we can email back and forth or DM on Instagram. You know, if you need somebody, message me, and definitely leave a comment. And I hope that you are all having an amazingly blessed day and an amazingly blessed week, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.